Hello, music muffins, and welcome to And today we're gonna do some composing tips. So hopefully any of you composers or new composers who want to start writing, maybe these tips will be able to help you learn and become more awesome than you probably already are. Let's just get on with the tips. Tip number 1, start small. Write short things to begin with, because when I first started composing, I wasn't really writing anything of much length. In fact, some of the first things I was writing when I was seriously trying to craft my composition was these tiny little theme tunes that I actually wrote them for my dolls originally, but I used to write these 10-second, 15-second themes. I kind of built from that. When I really when I got old enough to start seriously thinking about what I wanted to be and stuff, I think I was probably 10, maybe, I don't know, maybe a bit younger. I just wrote little theme tunes and then expanded on that, and then just carried on with expanding until I got to where I am now. So don't think you have to start with a whole symphony or even an entire song. It's okay to just start small and build up. Tip number 2 is to just compose whenever you can. Basically, how I got better was just by doing it, and I think that goes with anything. So if it's drawing or writing or learning an instrument or anything like that, anything that you want to learn, the only way you can really learn is to do it, and basically do it as much as possible. The more you do it, the more you'll learn. So if you want to get really good at composing, then just compose all the time. Well, not all the time, but whenever you can, because that will help you to craft and get better at what you do. Basically, just take every opportunity that you get to compose, and hopefully you will start to see improvements and you will start to learn more, and you'll become less afraid of experimenting, because that's what happened with me. When I first started, I just stuck to all the same kind of things, but then the more I did it, the more I tried. So yeah, just compose. Tip number 3 is to think of a theme or a topic. Whether you're writing a song or a piece of music, it helps to know what it's about. So even if you're just writing, I don't know, a piece, an instrumental piece, you might need to think of what is the piece going to be about. So you might think, I don't know, autumn or something, and then you can think of what do I associate with that, and it might be wind or the leaves blowing around, and that can help you pick the instruments that you use and maybe what the melody does and things like that. So it helps to have a topic in mind for what the music's going to be, even if there are no actual words to fit with it. Imagery is helpful in a lot of ways, and I feel like a lot of my music relies on that. Tip number 4, don't be afraid to try new things. It's a really good way to develop your music, is to try new things. I used to pretty much just write for piano, but then I started adding more instruments gradually and trying new sounds, new combinations of sounds and different harmonic worlds and all sorts of things. That's how my music expanded from how it started, because I was just trying different things out, and that helped to sort of evolve what I was doing. So it's a good way of expanding your music and just getting experience with different areas, is to just try things out and not be afraid to try things and even have them fail. Not everything I've tried has worked, but it's helped me to get to things that do work and that I do like and that then other people like too. So yeah, try new things. Tip number 5, find your own method. You don't have to feel like you have to use the same method that everyone else uses. So somebody might say they write a song by writing all the lyrics out and then writing the music around the lyrics, and then some people might say they start with a beat and then just build up and then write the lyrics, or whatever, but you don't have to do the same thing. In fact, you don't even have to do the same thing every time you compose. You can do something different, but just find the method that works for you. For me, I often start with the music and then do the lyrics afterwards, but you can do it whichever way you want. You just have to find your way that works and then just use that to your advantage, basically. Tip number 6 is write what you enjoy making. Don't just write what you think other people want to hear, just write what you like, because that usually will just make it better because you'll have more fun with it and it won't be forced. It will just be pure creativity from you and not you trying to force what you think other people want, and then your music will be more natural and just better quality as a result of it, because pure creativity from yourself is always better than just trying to force something that you think people want to hear rather than just going about. Like, composing should be a natural process, I think, of just natural thoughts rather than trying to make it into something that it might not have otherwise been. Tip number 7, don't overthink. Just play around and eventually something will come to you. I think if you sit down and just go, I'm going to compose now, it doesn't always work. If you just overthink the fact that you're trying to compose, it can really stifle creativity, and I think it might just be easier to just play around randomly and not even necessarily think about the fact that you're composing something, and then eventually something will just kind of fall into place and then you'll go, oh, I like that, and then you'll be able to have something to build on. Overthinking is overrated. And lastly, tip number 8, I think, is to use other music as inspiration. So if you need ideas for style or instruments or sound or anything, you can always refer to other music. Don't feel like, oh, it has to be 100% original, because put it this way, you're not going to get anything original really now anyway, because so much has been done that almost anything you do will remind someone of something else, and everyone is influenced by the music they hear, and I think there's nothing wrong with taking ideas and maybe taking them from different things and then merging them together and doing something new, or putting your own twist on something that's been done. But yeah, using other music as inspiration is perfectly fine, because all art forms use inspiration from something, because it's pretty much impossible to avoid. So yeah, inspiration is always good, and don't be afraid to use it. It's a good fuel. Inspiration is fuel for creativity. That's my words of wisdom. So yeah, those were some composition tips. I hope they were helpful. If you're new to the whole world of composition, firstly, welcome. And secondly, I hope that these tips will help you to get started and make you realise sort of maybe a way to go about it, and rather than thinking of it as like a blank slate and you've got no idea how to start. My monitor's gone off. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay, hopefully this video will help you to get started and make you see a way to get into it and everything. Yeah, so hopefully this was a useful video. Anyway, thank you for watching Music Muffins. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to show the like button some love, and if you want to see more videos, you know what you need to do. Obey the cushion, and I'll see you next time. Love you guys. Bye.